Welcome to The Perspective. My name's Brent Haggerty, and today we're taking a journey with clarity and purpose into what I think is so important. Over the past 3 decades, I've had the privilege of serving in ministry across the globe, from youth ministry in Ohio to pastoral ministry in New Jersey and missionary work in West Africa and the country of Burkina Faso. I've walked alongside leaders in more than 24 countries on 5 continents, and in all of those diverse settings, different languages, cultures, and customs, I've observed something that I think is quite profound. Leadership principles are universal. All success rises and falls on leadership. The business world, at home, in the family, self-discipline to lead self well before ever trying to lead someone else. So whether you're in a village in Burkina Faso or in a boardroom on Wall Street, the foundational traits of godly, effective leadership do not change. And through years of prayer, experience, reflection, and most of all, unfortunately, learning the hard way through some pretty nasty mistakes, I've come to define 5 unshakable principles as what I call the 5 pillars of leadership. In this short episode today, let me begin giving you an overview of the pillar called character. Friends, listen. Without character, leadership collapses under its own weight. Character is the foundation of trust and integrity. It's who you are when no one's watching. It's what you do when you don't have to, because it's the right thing to do. Biblical example, I would say Joseph probably had more character than any man in the Old Testament. He was thrown into a pit, sold as a slave, falsely imprisoned, and yet never compromised. Joseph's rise to leadership in Egypt was built not on talent or connections, but on an unwavering character. In Genesis 39, we read these words, "The Lord was with Joseph, and he found favor because he remained faithful." Character. Second pillar, competence. Good intentions without skill can be dangerous. Competence isn't perfection. It's the commitment to grow, to steward your gifts, and to serve with excellence. A leader without competence is like a ship without a compass. Competence is one's natural ability to lead. Every leader can improve their skills, but a leader 4 level, he's probably can be trained into a level 5, but never a level 8 or 9. Biblical example, I would say Bezalel, often overlooked, but this craftsman was handpicked by God to build the tabernacle. We read about him in Exodus chapter 31. I have filled him with the Spirit of God, with skill, ability, and knowledge. Now, when God fills a man with skill, ability, and knowledge, that guy's going to do something at a competence level that can be matched by no other. Leadership isn't just inspiration, my friend. It's implementation. Third pillar, confidence. Often there are leaders with high levels of competence, but they never step into a leadership role. Why? Because they lack the confidence. They get wrapped up in fear, and they never take the step out. They get caught up in that analysis paralysis, overly concerned that they may fail. They don't ever reach the point of taking initial steps because they can't find the confidence to take that very first step. It wasn't that way in Nehemiah's case, was it? When Nehemiah heard that the walls of Jerusalem were in ruins, when he went in as the cupbearer of the king said to him, "Nehemiah, why is your face so downcast today?" You see, Nehemiah, when he heard about the walls being torn down, he was crushed. And he was determined, just let me go and get them fixed. In Nehemiah chapter 2, verse 5, he records these words, "Send me to the city. Send me to the city so I can rebuild it." You see, he had a clear vision, and he communicated it to the people, and he got to work as a high-level competent leader. My friend, confidence is every bit as important as competence. You can't have one without the other and expect to lead. Confidence is a sign of spiritual maturity. It increases when we realize that God doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called. Pillar 4, courage. Every leader will face fear, he'll face resistance, he'll face uncertainty. You can count on it. Courage is the choice to obey God in the face of risk. I think Esther, above all others, male or female, when the fate of her entire nation hung in the balance, Esther stood before the king. Great personal risk. Yep, her life depended on it, and so did the life of all of her people. She said, if I perish, I perish. Now that's courage. When you're willing to lay everything on the line for God's sake. That's a true disciple and one who's qualified to be a disciple maker. Lastly, you need a pillar of called consistency. Leadership is not about position, it's about people. Consistency is the ability to keep plugging, keep plodding, in spite of the difficulties, in spite of the discouragements, and even occasional battle defeats. You're going to have them. Don't be discouraged, pastor. Don't be discouraged, elder. Don't be discouraged, young Christian. You'll be defeated. You'll make some mistakes, but leadership develops daily, not in a day. Barnabas, what a great example was this New Testament character. His name was actually Joseph, but he was so consistent as an encourager to the early church that they changed his name to Barnabas, which means son of encouragement. So there you have 5 pillars of leadership: character, competence, confidence, courage, and consistency. If one of them's missing, my friend, your leadership will wobble and it will fall. But when all 5 are strong, leaders can stand firm no matter the storm. In the coming episodes, we're going to go deeper into each and every one of those, an episode united and dedicated to all 5 of them. So as you glance back over the list of 5, which one stands out to you as your strongest asset? Don't be bashful. It's very important that you know your strength. And it's also important to know your weakness. Which one may be your focus for the most growth? Remember now, all success rises and falls on leadership. Before you can ever hope to lead others, you'll need to lead yourself courageously. When you do, when you lead yourself with character, confidence, courage, and consistency, others will recognize you. I guarantee it. They will want to follow. Hey, my name's Brent Haggerty. This is my perspective. What's yours?